So here's a confirmation of the standings. The top four, Barcelona, Lyon, Chelsea, and Bayern Munich, will go straight to the quarterfinals. And then the rest will head to the playoffs. That will be in February. So we've talked at length about the top four, and that is Barca, Lyon, Chelsea, and Bayern Munich. But I want to focus on probably the best of the rest. But specifically, Ali, I'm going to start with you about Arsenal. I feel like we haven't necessarily spoken or taken a deep dive into Arsenal, because you did make the bold prediction last time out that you did not see them making the top four. Now, they did finish just outside the top four, so they managed to pull things back in the end, but they do find themselves in the playoffs right now. So what do we take from this Arsenal that we're seeing in the Champions League?
Well, I think I only said that because of the inconsistency of their performances that, were occurring in the Champions League, but also domestically as well. You have two of your best players and your best leaders out. Now, somewhat getting minutes with Leah Williamson, holding down the back line. It's really difficult to lose one of your main center backs, one of your captains of your team, and a stalwart in the back line to be able to keep things organized and consistent. Then you have Kim Little, who was one of the best players, if not the best player last year in the Champions League final, who was just picking, balls off, intercepting passes, being able to transition to break Barcelona down. So we haven't seen too much of that in this Champions League. So missing those two key players, I think, at the beginning was really difficult. Now we see them slowly getting back into the squad, so you're going to see that change. But the defensive stability in key moments. So they just need that leader in the back line to help organize and contain some of those attacks that have been just breaking through and breaking them down. And then the ability to control games against the top competitors, to be able to see a game out. So Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, for example, which is why Bayern is now, in the top four, is that they beat them. They were able to come back after losing, 3-0 in the first half. And you have to continue to see the game out, and that game management is key. And I don't think that they've done as well since then. So that's why you see, Bayern, with that mentality in the top four, and then, they weren't necessarily able to get there. So stronger game management, I think more balance between the attacking freedom and defensive structure. And then ultimately, just having that willingness to want to create and be able to finish those chances, because they don't happen often.
Yeah, Natalia, what do you make of this Arsenal, and how far do you see them going in this competition? Because I feel like every now and again we have to remind everyone that they are the defending champions.
Yes, and I think when you compare before the Manchester United, that I agree, they are doing a really good competition, but you compare with Arsenal, and honestly, for me, Arsenal is being like the negative surprise, because everybody expect probably they be in the top four, right? So I think that I agree with Ali. The no consistency in the defense perspective of the game, I think, is very hard for them. I believe that now we will see another Arsenal, more because they need to go through these playoffs, and for them it's something uncomfortable. They need to, remember to everybody, we are the currently winners, and I feel they will try to do the performance that they need to do. But honestly, I saw the team very like a disconnect, not playing as a team. And for me, the key, the last year when they won the final against Barca, is because they play amazing like a team in the defending performance. All together, when they went to attack, all together. And this year, I see good player, but as an individual, not as a team. I think they need to do their homework playing as a team.
Oh, man, I absolutely hated doing homework. But anyways, looking at the rest of the teams in terms of best of the rest as well. I mean, Wolfsburg still very much in it, as we talked about. Manchester United, we already talked about them. Your Juventus, who you picked to get in the top four, still very much alive. And, well, Real Madrid in it as well. Which of the other teams do you see potentially making a deep run?
No, I do think Juve will be able to come back from this loss. And it wasn't a deep loss, right? It was just a 1-0 where they just needed to tidy up some of their defensive modalities and be able to create more in the attack and finish those chances that they missed today. And I think the game would have been a lot different. So I do think that they're fully capable of being in the top and being able to get through these playoffs in the next rounds. Not easily, right? Because it's now going to be even more difficult because it's narrowed down a lot with the group stage. So I think that they will continue to impress, but they do have to make sure that everyone's firing on all cylinders, because they don't necessarily have the depth that other, top teams in this tournament have, but they have the ability to be able to perform well and in the right moments.
Ali's saying that it wasn't a deep loss to Man United. You're just not letting me have this, Ali. Natalia, in terms of the best of the rest, what about you?
I continue believing in La Juve. La Juve for me is one of the teams that I think that they are really, really good structured. They play really well in defense and really good in attacking. So I feel like Juve and Wolfsburg for me could be these teams that easily can go forward. I hope Arsenal as well, because when they play well, they bring some style of play really fun to watch. And why not your Manchester United, lady? Let's see.
Hey, yes. Clock it. Look out for my girls. I tell you, the Great Wall of Manchester fell into Liz Joyce. She said
we'll
no.
See.
She said no.
We'll see.
We'll see. Ali won't let me have it.